Andy and I would like to start with one explanation for one piece that helps to explain why the masses of golfers hit behind the ball or hit a thin shot, have trouble controlling the low point. And to give some references to help you learn how to practice that. Because like we said, Mike, it's one thing to understand it and then to begin to recognize the problem. The next step in the process is learning how to do it or how to change it,
right,
how to measure it. And like you said, the ball is always telling you, and if you know the identity of the part, then the ball is telling you if you're doing enough of it. So we should just start first with the weight and where the weight is, and how that affects where the club hits the ground, and then give you some measurements to start to explain or to control where the weight is. Mike, one convenient reference for helping a golfer to control where their weight is the measurement of where the left knee is in relation to the left ankle, and how that control helps the golfer to control where the club hits the ground, and also helps them to control the path of the swing. In other words, it helps them to hit downward at the ball enough and hit the ground forward enough in the ground.
Right.
So if you were to just narrate some checkpoints for the left knee, please.
I'll just start from the beginning, Andy. At address, my left knee is bent, say 25 degrees. At the top of my backswing, it's flex, say 30.
Correct. And what would you say, Mike, in particular, the knee's relationship to the ankle, side to side?
Side to side, the left knee is directly over the left ankle at address.
Okay.
At the top of my backswing, it's the same, or even just a little bit more forward. You're okay with that?
Yep.
Then on the downswing, the left knee, as it's flexing, it's actually flexing on the downswing more and going forward as the hips move forward. The left knee is in front of the left ankle.
Okay, so if you stopped at the point where the left arm was parallel to the ground, Mike, the left knee would be like 1 to 2 inches in front of the ankle, and like Mike said, it would still be flexing. And if you went to the point where the shaft was parallel to the ground, the left knee would be flexed at its maximum and would be 2 to 3 inches in front of the ankle. This is important because the poorest players, whenever they swing back, they've often moved their weight back too far, and in doing that, moved their knee too far back behind their ankle. Then when they come down, instead of the left knee flexing, the left leg straightens much too quickly. In other words, the weight moved back too far on the backstroke, and the front leg straightened much too quickly. The results of that are catastrophic. First thing that happens is that with the weight being too far back, the golfer's inclined to hit too far behind the ball. And the next thing that happens when the left leg straightens too fast is not only is the weight too far back often, but the turning component of the swing starts to happen too fast, and it makes the golfer start to swing across the ball. So the golfer habitually swings, the golfer habitually has the bottom of their swing behind the ball and swings too far to the left. If Mike keeps his left knee bent longer and in front of the ankle more, what that's doing is that's moving the bottom of his swing forward, and it's helping the descent, or the rate that the club goes down, it helps it to go down longer. So the more Mike moves his knee forward and downward, he is pushing the swing's path outward and forward longer. And this is a major component in learning how to draw the ball, is being able to hit the ground in front of the ball and being able to hit downward at the ball long enough. It serves as a major differentiator between golfers at different skill levels. A drill we would often use to help people to understand this concept is to just start out with the left knee 2 to 3 inches in front of the ankle and bent. And we would have them hit the ball with the knee bent, and to not arrive at straight, in the very beginning, Mike, if you did
just leave it bent,
is to just leave it bent. In other words, bent at the setup, no weight shift, and to stay bent all the way through. An example of that would be a very familiar example would be like Jim Furyk, and there would be a guy who never straightened his knee. He just kept it bent all the way through, even on his finish. The result of that, of the knee being forward and bent longer, is again the golfer can much more easily get more forward on the ground and more down at the ball. So one more time, Mike, on the drill, please. 90-10, left knee 2 inches in front of the ankle, and do not straighten the knee. Just keep it bent and hit down. So the drill would look like that. And you notice that Mike is hitting in front of the ball. And to differentiate that, to help you understand what your swing may look like if you have this problem, the poorest players move off the ball. They straighten their leg too quickly, and the result is the bottom of the swing is behind the ball, and the path after the club reaches its bottom starts to go up and to the left, which is the thinning and the pulling and the slicing so common among the poorest players.
Andy and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to look at this segment.
And we hope the tips that we share with you in the practice benefits your golf game. And we'd like to wish you the best as you move forward in the game of golf.